Did you know adding alt text in your book's images can improve SEO and you will get more citation? So in this tutorial, I'll show you how you can prepare alt text. I'll show you step-by-step guidance. Before showing you, read this website, how to write alt text and long description prepared by Ruthless. So CRC page showing a great example of alt text. So see this figure, this one image, and figure number 1, example of an inspirational images. There is a hope. And alt text, there's a best example, say, there is a two hand, so two hand holding a heart-shaped rock with a word hope engraved in it. So this is one best example for alt text. So I'll show you how you can prepare alt text for your book images, and it will help you to get more citation. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr.JayantaDas, and in this tutorial I'll show you how to write alt text for books, a step-by-step guidance. Let me show how we can prepare alt text for your book. Before showing this, I'll describe about what is alt text. Alt text is the acronym. Full form of alt text is alternative text. It is a brief description that is added to picture, figure, illustration, photographs to inform reader about the nature and contents of your images or picture. It should be concise but must be descriptive. And concise means it should be 25 to 30 words. But in some complex situation, it may be up to 100 words. Basically, it used for blind people, visually impaired people, and have print disabilities. And obviously, it will help to improve SEO, search engine optimization, to get your paper, to get your chapters, images easily on the in internet IoT. Actually, if alt text is spoken aloud, you should be able to view the image even if you close your eyes, just like the previous example of CRC page. And sometimes it's happened due to slow internet connection, due to low resolution of your image. Sometimes image will not upload properly. That time if alt text appear, then reader can understand your image. So alt text basically provide the content information of your figure, of your picture. So one thing, a figure caption is not the same as the alt text. So alt text should be avoided the same as figure captions. First of all, where need to prepare alt text and where is not required. Basically, for all images, figures, maps, charts, graph, illustration, photograph, we need to prepare alt text. It is now mandatory for Pinjar, LCPR, for LCPR or Taylor Francis. In all ebook format, alt text is mandatory. So you have to prepare it. But for table, book cover, or music notation, mathematical notation like equation is not required, right? So best practice for alt text. First thing you have to remember yourself, it should be concise. Already I told you, alt text must be under 100 words, but remember, it should be 25 to 30 words long. And targeted description reflect the context and intent of the image, matching the focus of text, chapter, and title. Like if you close your eyes, then if anybody read loudly, then you can understand, you can imagine this picture, you can imagine these maps or diagram, and it should be unique. Remember, it should be unique. Don't duplicate text that adjacent to the document. Meaning, sometimes if in image we generally use caption, so it should not be matched with the caption and alt text. Okay, and clear, spell out all the contraction, numbers, non-Latin letter. If any contraction is required, then it should be spelled out. And do not use formatting such as bullet point like that. It is a complex sentence. Do not use redundant phrases like image of, graphic of, because we need to clearly mention what type of image or what type of diagram is. So I'll explain you how you can prepare it. Then consistent, you use the same style of language used within the main body of text. Every chapter or every book, it should be the same. If you are working on a book, then it should be the same style of language. Inclusive, do not include additional information a sighted person would miss. That's mean A customer not using the skin either, you don't use any additional information. Then conclude your alt text with a full stop and period, because it is a complete information. I will show you the example how to write effective alt text. First, remember one thing: be descriptive but concise. Mainly describe the image or any photograph in 1 to 2 sentences. Avoid unnecessary details. Okay, here the one example: compare goods and bad alt text. Suppose in one graph, if you mention like a graph showing sales growth like this, and good example is a bar graph showing sales growth. This difference is that if anybody listen this one, a graph, that means there are various types of graph. It may be bar graph, it may be line graph. If you write like a bar graph, then listener will understand, yes, it's a bar graph and it's showing what sales growth from 2020 to 2023, and here the content of this graph with a peak of 2022. Then he or she can understand the graph properly. That's when you can imagine the graph without seeing this graph, right? By reading this graph, alt text, you can imagine this graph. Like, so focus on context. This is most important part. You have to focus on this context. Think about how the image related to the content, like your book chapter or specific content. What the key message is, because you have to find out it's a illustration or scientific diagram. You have to differentiate with these two content. Then you can write better way in alt text. And I have explained it in images of, and include alt text in images. Sometime if your image has text, then it should be included in your alt text description. I'll show you for one example. Some example is there. Suppose for figure and graph, how you can write, like for graph you can write like a line graph. If it is line graph, then you can mention it is line graph, it's a bar graph, a line graph showing the increasing global temperature over the past century. So it is a increasing trend, then you can understand, yes, it is a increasing trend of global temperature. And so it is clear to you what is your graph showing. Like illustration, see a medieval knight standing in a forest holding a sword and shield. So you can imagine this illustration. Like something in photograph, a close-up of golden retriever playing in a field of flowers. You can imagine. And in some cases, if complex image is there, then it should be longer description, like up to 100 words, not more than 100 words. Right? Here's some example. I have prepared it for my paper. See here, this is text. This is for text. Okay, see, these are overall focus of MCDM model in hazard science. So my title is, this is schematic diagram. So my title is, figure caption is schematic diagram showing the overall objective of the MCDM method. So I have prepared alt text like this, alt text for figure 22.1, schematic diagram illustrating. So this is a schematic diagram. That's why I mentioned a schematic diagram illustrating the overall goal of MCDM method. For what? For what purpose? For hazard and monitoring and risk assessment is depicted. See here the hazard assessment, hazard and risk assessment. And for hazard and risk assessment, there are 5 components. And so I mention it. This includes improved decision making, one component. Then another component, prioritize hazard. Here the priority hazard. Then risk factor. Here the risk factor. Then integrating qualitative and quantitative data, adapting, assessing hazard and risks, and incorporating stakeholder. This way you can write your alt text from the text to description. Now next one, this is one line graph. This is a line graph showing number of publication for keyword multi-criteria decision making in Science Direct. So here the figure caption, number of publication with the keyword multi-criteria decision making in Science Direct. This is a caption. Now see the alt text, a line graph showing, this is line graph, that's why a line graph showing number of publication with the keyword multi-criteria decision making in Science Direct, showing continuous growth from year 2012 to 2024. See, it shows 2012 to 2024, and in 2024 it's a highest. So that's why I have written it, showing continuous growth from 2020 to 2012 to 2024. So anybody can understand this graph by reading this alt text, right? Basically for a visually impaired person, right? So highest growth rate in 2024 and lowest in 2012 because it is a continuous growth. Advantage of alt text already I have mentioned. First one, alt text is indexed by search engine, so it will optimize the search engine and can boost your article online presence. That's when you will get more citation. Alt text will display if the image failed to load, basically for underdeveloped countries where internet connection is very uh, slow. So it will help you for search engine optimization. It will help you to get more citation. And another thing, nowadays alt text is mandatory. So hopefully you can prepare all text for your all images, illustration, diagram. Absolutely you can prepare it. Thank you for watching this tutorial.